If you think Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin, you only know half of the story, because to this day, we still don't know who he really is. Let's start with the facts. Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym. According to his profile, he claimed to be a Japanese man born on April 5th, 1975. But there's a problem. He wrote in perfect English, no mistakes, no trace of a Japanese writing style. Even stranger is his date of birth. Some believe it's not random, that it could be a reference to Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the time when gold ownership was first banned in the United States, as if even here, a hidden clue was left behind. We do know one thing: Satoshi Nakamoto actively worked on Bitcoin until 2010, and then he suddenly disappeared. Before that, he handed control of the code to a developer named Gavin Andresen, and after that, silence. But there is one detail that makes this story even stranger. It is believed that Satoshi owns up to 1 million bitcoins. That's tens of billions of dollars, and all this time, not a single coin has ever moved. As if the owner either can't or simply doesn't want to touch them. And this is where things get interesting, because there are real people who could be behind this name. One of the main candidates is Szabo. Back in the 90s, he described the concept of digital gold, BitGold, a system that almost mirrors how Bitcoin works, but was never fully implemented. But Szabo is not the only candidate. There was another story that once exploded across the internet. A man named Dorian Nakamoto, a Japanese-American engineer, same name, technical background, the perfect candidate at first glance. Journalist Leah McGrath Goodman publicly claimed he could be the creator of Bitcoin, but the story collapsed almost immediately. Dorian himself said he was misunderstood, and that he had nothing to do with Bitcoin. Too simple, too obvious, and most likely not the right person. But there is one candidate whose story is much louder: Craig Wright. In 2015, his home was raided, and in 2016, he made a bold claim that he is Satoshi Nakamoto. He even presented proof, and the most dangerous part, Gavin Andresen believed him. For a moment, it felt like the mystery was solved. But then, everything fell apart. It turned out his evidence was fake. He used old blockchain data that anyone could access. No real proof. No transactions from Satoshi's wallets. Nothing. Later, a UK court officially ruled Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto, and the documents he provided were forged. Yet even now, he continues to claim the opposite. And here's what all of this leads to. For over 15 years, no one has proven who Satoshi Nakamoto really is. Not a single person, not a single theory. Every piece of evidence either falls apart or turns out to be fake. And that's strange, because in a world where people are identified by a single tweet, you don't just disappear, unless you planned it that way. And this is where the most logical idea appears. Satoshi Nakamoto is not a person, it's an idea, and possibly a group of people who deliberately created this legend, so that no one could control them, no one could pressure them, so that Bitcoin would never have a face. Because the moment you have a face, you have control. And the moment you have control, you lose the very essence of it. And maybe that's why those wallets have never moved. Not because they can't be used, but because they were never meant to be. And then the real question is no longer who created Bitcoin, but whether it was ever important in the first place.